Everyday products filled with potential harm.
It's an artificial chemical that we inflicted upon ourselves.
That foundation in your bathroom, the one you press into your skin every single morning, before coffee, before anything. You have been doing it for years, maybe decades, because it evened out your skin tone and the label said natural, and the brand had been around since before you were born. So you assumed someone, somewhere, had checked. No one checked. You were not careless. You were not uninformed. You did what you were supposed to do. You bought the brand with the long history and the dermatologist on the packaging and the price that felt like proof of something. That was the system working, not failing. In the United States, there is no federal limit on how much lead a foundation can contain. None. The EU has one. The US does not. And one brand on this list was flagged for lead levels in a product marketed specifically to women of color. A $9 billion talc settlement did not change a single drugstore formula. The FDA has been waiting for safety data on chemical UV filters since 2019. The foundations kept selling. 7 brands, 3 that are actually clean. The one with the lead is first. Avoid number 1, L'Oreal True, match 45 shades. The most inclusive shade range at the drugstore, the one that finally had your color on the shelf when nothing else did. That mattered. It still matters. But here is what the shade range does not tell you. The United States has no federal limit on lead in foundation. None. The EU does. The US does not. L'Oreal sells to both markets. The formula going on American faces is not required to meet EU heavy metal limits. The campaign for Safe Cosmetics tested drugstore foundations and flagged lead in multiple L'Oreal products. No recall followed. No reformulation was announced. The products kept selling. Pick up the bottle. Read the front. True match. Your foundation. 45 shades built for you. Now turn it over. The ingredient list is long. Lead will not appear on it. It never does. It does not have to. For the woman who finally found her shade in True Match after years of drugstore foundations that were close but never quite right. The shade range saw her. The heavy metal limit did not exist. Carve out the True Match. Hyaluronic tinted serum has a shorter ingredient list and lower pigment load. Lower pigment load means lower contamination exposure risk. If L'Oreal is the only accessible option, that product is the less alarming place to land. 45 shades, no federal lead limit. That is not inclusion. That is a gap in the law. The next brand does not have a lead problem. It has a silicone problem, and the formula that never comes off your face may be doing exactly what it promises in ways nobody told you about. Avoid number 2, Estee Lauder Double Wear, the foundation that does not move. Boardrooms, weddings, 16 hours under stage lighting. The one serious women buy when the makeup has to hold and failure is not an option. $45, the price that signals someone thought carefully about what went inside. Here is what staying put actually costs you. Double Wear achieves its legendary wear time through silicone-based film formers, cyclopentasiloxane, trimethylsiloxysilicate, ingredients that create a seal on the skin and hold everything in place. The EU is currently reviewing cyclopentasiloxane for restriction as a persistent environmental contaminant. It does not break down easily in the environment or on your skin. The EWG flags multiple double wear components with elevated hazard scores for skin and organ toxicity concerns. The formula wears for 16 hours because it is designed to be extremely difficult to remove. Your skin barrier absorbs for every one of those 16 hours. Estee Lauder does not publish absorption data. For the woman who pays $45 because she believes the price reflects a formulation standard the drugstore cannot reach, the wear time is real. The premium safety standard is not documented anywhere on the bottle. Carve out Estee Lauder Futurist Hydra Rescue has a shorter silicone chain profile and a meaningfully cleaner EWG score than Double Wear. If you are loyal to the brand, that is the product worth looking at. $45, 16 hours of wear. The formula that holds also sits. If you have been wearing Double Wear for years and no one told you any of this, hit subscribe. The moisturizer version of this list is coming, and the ingredients are harder to justify. The next brand put the words skincare on the label to justify $65. It is not skincare. Avoid number 3, IT Cosmetics CC Plus Cream. 1 tube, 5 promises, anti-aging, hydrating, full coverage, SPF 50, skincare and makeup in one. The pitch was perfect. for the woman who wanted to simplify her routine without sacrificing results. Developed with plastic surgeons, that is what the label says. Here is what the plastic surgeons did not sign off on. The SPF comes from chemical UV filters, avobenzone and octinoxate, 2 of 12 UV filters the FDA placed under safety review in 2019. The FDA asked manufacturers for safety data. Most brands, including IT Cosmetics, have not fully provided it. The products kept selling. The SPF 50 claim kept appearing on the tube while the safety review stayed open. Then there is the titanium dioxide, present in nanoparticle form. The EU's Scientific Committee on Consumer Safety has flagged inhalation risk for spray and powder formats containing nanotitanium dioxide. IT Cosmetics sells both. Developed with plastic surgeons is a marketing claim, not a regulatory one. No published clinical trial supports the anti-aging outcomes listed on the packaging. The word clinical on a cosmetics label in the United States has no legal definition. It means whatever the brand needs it to mean on a given Tuesday. L'Oreal acquired IT Cosmetics for $1.2 billion in 2016. The founder story stayed on the label. The independence did not transfer with the sale. For the woman who switched to C+ because it felt like a smarter purchase, fewer products, fewer ingredients touching her skin every morning. The logic was sound. The formula did not follow the logic. Carve out IT Cosmetics, bye-bye, redness. Correcting cream has a significantly shorter ingredient list and no chemical UV filters. If you use IT Cosmetics, that is the product that passes a basic clean check. $1.2 billion acquisition, 5 claims on the tube, 0 published clinical trials for the anti-aging ones. The next brand started the clean beauty movement in 2006. Then, a conglomerate bought it, and the formula grew, and the story stayed exactly the same. Avoid number 4. Bare Minerals Original Loose Powder Foundation. This one started it all, 2006. QVC, 5 ingredients, minerals only, no parabens, no synthetic fragrance, no talc. The foundation that told millions of women they could stop putting chemicals on their face and still get coverage. It worked. The clean beauty movement has a founding document, and Bare Minerals wrote it. That was then. Open the jar. The powder is still silky. It still applies the way it always did. The brand still says minerals on the front. Now read the full ingredient list on the back. Count how many ingredients appear that did not exist in the 2006 pitch. Shiseido acquired Bare Minerals in 2010 for $1.7 billion. The 5-ingredient story stayed on the label. The formula grew quietly behind it. Talc now appears in multiple Bare Minerals products. The same ingredient that generated billions in litigation for Johnson & Johnson over asbestos contamination concerns. Bismuth oxychloride, still present in the original formula, is linked to skin irritation and cystic acne in sensitive skin types. The FDA has no mandatory testing requirement for talc in cosmetics before it goes into a bottle. The mineral promise was real in 2006. The formula the brand is selling today is a different document. The label did not change. That is the point. The front of the jar still says the same thing it said the day she switched. Nothing on the outside told her the inside had grown. For the woman who switched to Bare Minerals in 2007 because she had sensitive skin and 5 ingredients felt like finally something safe. She was right in 2007. What she is buying now is not the same formula she made that decision based on. Carve out Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Tinted Hydrating Gel Cream has a genuinely cleaner profile than the original powder and no bismuth oxychloride. If you are loyal to the brand, that is the honest upgrade. 5 ingredients in 2006, $1.7 billion acquisition in 2010. Count the ingredients now. If you are new here, this is what we do on this channel. We read the ingredient lists, the lawsuits, and the regulatory filings, so you do not have to. Hit subscribe. The concealer version of this list is coming, and the claims are harder to justify. The next brand rewrote the shade range in 2017. The formula it put inside those 40 shades is a different story entirely. Avoid number 5. Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte 2017, 40 shades at launch. The beauty industry had to respond. Every other brand scrambled to expand their range. Fenty did not just sell a foundation, it rewrote what the industry owed its customers. That was real. That mattered. The cultural shift was genuine. But here is what the shade range does not tell you about what is inside the bottle. Pro Filter is built on silicone-based film formers, dimethicone, cyclopentasiloxane, trimethylsiloxysilicate, the same chemistry as the prestige brands Fenty disrupted. Cyclopentasiloxane is under EU restriction review as a persistent environmental contaminant. The EWG flags the ProFilter formula with moderate hazard scores. None of that appears on the bottle. None of it is part of the conversation Fenty invites you to have about the product. Fenty Beauty is owned by LVMH, the largest luxury conglomerate in the world. The founder story is real. The independent brand story is not. The boardroom behind the 40 Shades is the same boardroom behind Louis Vuitton and Dior and Givenchy. The shade range changed what brands owe their customers. That is permanently true, and it matters. Ingredient transparency is a separate conversation that Fenty has not started. For the Gen Z buyer who chose Fenty because it finally had her shade and because the brand felt like it was built by someone who understood her, the shade range did understand her. The formula is LVMH's. Carve Out Fenty Skin Tinted Moisturizer has a meaningfully cleaner ingredient profile than ProFilter and a shorter silicone chain. If you want Fenty on your face, that product is the cleaner entry point. 40 Shades, LVMH Boardroom. The revolution was real. The formula was standard. The next brand charges $60 and lists one word on the label that covers up to 300 undisclosed chemical compounds going directly onto your face every morning. That word is parfum. Avoid number 6. Nars Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. The foundation makeup artists use backstage. The name that appears on every best foundation list. The one prestige buyers reach for when they want the look to feel earned. $60. The Sephora staple that has been there since the 90s. The brand that belongs in the same sentence as Charlotte Tilbury and Hourglass when serious beauty buyers talk about investment purchases. Here is what the editorial authority does not disclose. Nars Natural Radiant Longwear contains parfum. One word on the label. Sounds simple. It is not. Parfum is a legal black box. It can contain up to 300 individual chemical compounds. None of them have to be disclosed individually. The FDA does not require it. The brand does not volunteer it. At $60 a bottle, that is a significant amount of trust to extend to a single word on an ingredient list. The formula also contains phenoxyethanol, a preservative the EU limits to 1% concentration in cosmetics due to toxicity concerns. It also contains synthetic fragrance compounds, sitting directly on facial skin for up to 16 hours a day. The EWG rates multiple Nars foundations with elevated hazard scores. Nars is owned by Shiseido, the same conglomerate that acquired Bare Minerals, different brand, different price point, same parent company making the decisions about what goes in the bottle. For the woman who saved up for Nars because the makeup artist used it on her at a wedding trial, and it was the best her skin had ever looked. The finish was real. What was inside the parfum column was not disclosed. Carve Out Nars Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer is fragrance-free and carries a meaningfully cleaner EWG profile than the Natural Radiant Longwear. If Nars is your brand, that is the product to move toward. $60. One word covering 300 possible chemicals. Parfum is not an ingredient. It is a door. The last brand on the avoid list is $8. It is in more American bathrooms than any other foundation on this list, and it contains talc with no federal testing mandate behind it. Avoid number 7. Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. $8. 40 Shades. Every drugstore, every Walmart, every pharmacy in the country. The first foundation millions of women ever bought. The one that was already in the bathroom cabinet when they started paying attention to makeup. The one nobody questioned, because at $8, the risk felt like nothing. Here is what $8 a bottle adds up to over 20 years. The powder version of Fit Me Matte and Poreless contains talc as a primary ingredient. Talc has been at the center of some of the most expensive litigation in American consumer history. Johnson & Johnson paid nearly $9 billion in a talc settlement related to asbestos contamination concerns. The FDA has no mandatory pre-market testing requirement for talc in cosmetics. Maybelline is not required to test the talc in this foundation for asbestos before it goes into the bottle and onto the shelf. $8 feels like nothing to risk. Apply it every morning for 20 years, and it is over 7,000 applications of an ingredient with no federal testing mandate pressed into the same pores every single morning before anything else. Maybelline is owned by L'Oreal, the same parent company as brand number 1 on this list. same conglomerate, same supply chain, same quality control framework, 2 different price points, one name behind both of them. For the teenager who started here because her mum bought it and her budget did not allow for anything else, she was not being careless. Nobody told her what was in the powder she pressed into her pores every morning before school. Carve out. The Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth Liquid formula does not contain talc and has a meaningfully shorter ingredient list than the powder version. If Maybelline is the only accessible option, the liquid is the less alarming choice. $8. Talc. No federal testing mandate. L'Oreal owns this one too. Go check your bathroom shelf right now. If it is a powder foundation, turn it over. Find talc on the ingredient list. If it is there, set it down before this video ends. Now here is the pattern behind every single brand you just heard, because this is not 7 separate stories. It is one story, told 7 times. Before writing, let me review the project files and outline carefully. Good. Now writing the pattern pivot, all 3 safe picks, and the outro, all in one pass, holding to 1,000 words total. Every required element from the brief and outline included. Okay, stop for a second. You just sat through 7 foundation brands, 7 different price points, 7 different stories on the front of the bottle, 1 story on the back. Step 1. A founder builds something real, a shade range, a mineral formula, a skincare promise, a cultural shift. Step 2. A conglomerate buys it. Shiseido, LVMH, L'Oreal, twice. Step 3. The marketing claim stays. The accountability for that claim does not transfer with the sale. Step 4. A word does the work. Natural, clinical, mineral, parfum. Words that cost nothing to print, mean nothing the law will enforce, and do everything the price tag needs them to do. That is not 7 separate stories. That is one story told 7 times. Now the 3 that decided the formula was enough. Worth it. Number 3. Ilia True Skin Serum Foundation. Where others put serum on the label to justify the price, this earned the word. Sasha Plavsic founded Ilia in 2011 in British Columbia. The premise was simple: skin first, makeup second, not as a marketing angle, as a formulation requirement. Every ingredient had to pull weight on the skin before it was allowed to contribute to coverage. The SPF comes from zinc oxide only. The 1 UV filter the FDA has classified as generally recognized as safe and effective. No avobenzone, no octinoxate, no chemical filters under safety review since 2019. Squalane base, hyaluronic acid. The active ingredients are disclosed. The third party checked the work. Ilia True Skin is EWG verified. That is not self-declared. The brand submits its formula and the EWG audits it. No flagged ingredients came back. Carve out. 30 shades, more limited than Fenty or L'Oreal. Deeper skin tones at the far end of the range are not as precisely matched as mid-range shades. If you are deeper than a certain point in the range, swatch carefully before committing. $48 at Sephora, Credo, and IliaBeauty.com. The next brand kept the 5-ingredient mineral promise that Bare Minerals made in 2006 and then abandoned. It has been keeping it ever since. Worth it. Number 2. Alima Pure Satin Matte Foundation. Where others kept the mineral story and quietly changed the formula, this never changed either one. Kate O'Brien founded Alima Pure in 2004, before Bare Minerals had $1 billion acquisition to protect, before the formula had anywhere to grow. Alima Pure was built specifically as the answer to what clean mineral makeup was supposed to be, and stayed there while the rest of the category moved on. 4 to 6 ingredients depending on shade. Mica, titanium dioxide, zinc oxide, iron oxides. That is the formula. The 5-ingredient mineral promise that Bare Minerals wrote in 2006 and then grew past. Alima Pure kept it. No talc, no bismuth oxychloride, no synthetic fragrance, no parabens. EWG verified. B Corp certified. 2 independent third-party audits. Not one of the avoid brands on this list holds both. The brand did not grade its own homework on either count. Carve out. Powder only. Not suitable for dry skin without a hydrating primer underneath. Not the right choice for anyone needing the coverage of a liquid foundation. This is a mineral powder, and it does exactly that one thing with no compromise. $32 at Credo, the detox market, and alimapure.com. The last brand on this list takes every promise the avoid brands made and never delivered, and publishes 4 independent audits to back it at $34 at Target. Worth it. Number 1. W3LL People Bio Tint Multi-Action Tinted Moisturizer. Where the avoid brands sold clean as a story, this built clean as a requirement, then called a third party party to verify it 4 times. W3LL People was founded in 2008 by a makeup artist, a physician, and a natural beauty pioneer. The physician was not brought in for a press release. She co-formulated the products. The expertise was in the formula before it was on the label. SPF from zinc oxide only. No talc, no bismuth oxychloride, no synthetic fragrance, no silicone film formers, no chemical UV filters under FDA review. The formula is what the label says it is. EWG verified, USDA organic certified, Leaping Bunny certified, B Corp certified. 4 independent third-party audits. Not a single brand on the avoid half of this list holds all 4. Not one. Carve out. Lighter coverage than a full coverage liquid. Not suitable for covering significant hyperpigmentation or acne scarring without a concealer underneath. The finish looks like skin, not like makeup. $34 at Target, Whole Foods, and W3LLpeople.com. The same Target that sells Maybelline Fit Me for $8, $4 more per bottle. 4 independent audits included. L'Oreal had 45 shades and no federal lead limit. W3LL People has 4 audits and $34. One of those is a standard. The other is a gap in the law. You just sat through 7 foundation brands. No federal lead limit on a product millions of women apply every morning. A $9 billion tout settlement that changed nothing on the drugstore shelf. An FDA safety review open since 2019 while the chemical UV filters kept selling. One word, parfum, covering 300 possible chemical compounds on a $60 bottle. A conglomerate that bought the clean beauty movement and kept the story while the formula grew behind it. It is not a mistake, it is the model. Tomorrow morning, pick up your foundation, turn it over, find talc, find parfum, find avobenzone. If 2 of those 3 are on that label, you now know what you have been pressing into your face every single day. If this is new information for you, hit subscribe. This channel exists, so you do not have to find out the hard way. Tell me in the comments which foundation you have been wearing the longest, and whether the word parfum is on that label. I will be reading every single one. If someone you know is still applying a talc-based powder foundation every morning without knowing about the Johnson & Johnson settlement, send this to them. The system is not broken. It is working exactly the way it was built to work. You were never supposed to flip the bottle over. Stay sharp, read those labels, keep rising.